I play the guitar in the middle of the night whenever I cannot sleep, and I meditate every morning, complete with chanting and burning incense, so if you've got to walk around, I'd appreciate a little tiptoeing. Also, I sleep in the nude. A buffo.
It's Sunday Morning on CBS, and here again is Jane Pauley.
Richard Dreyfuss boasted of bearing all in his Oscar-winning performance opposite Marsha Mason in the movie The Goodbye Girl. So, how revealing will he be in conversation with our man in Hollywood, Ben Mankiewicz? Let's find out.
So because we know each other, and I think you like me, I think, I'm not sure, and we have many accomplishments to talk about, I would like to start with failure.
That's the way I usually start things.
Producers in London.
Yes.
So it's 2004. Richard Dreyfuss had signed on for the Mel Brooks musical The Producers in London's West End.
When Mel Brooks had called me and asked me to do it, I had said, Mel, I don't dance and I don't sing. And he said, oh, who cares? You're funny. 6 days before the first preview audience, I was fired because I didn't dance and I didn't sing.
Call it a hiccup in what has mostly been a lifetime of success.
Shall I get the cops?
What?
I'll get the cops.
After a brief one-line debut in 1967's The Graduate,
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
you might say Richard Dreyfuss's career was on fire by 1973. George Lucas directed him in American Graffiti,
Now take it.
along with a few other big names.
We're leaving in the morning, all right?
Ron Howard,
We're leaving in the morning.
Harrison Ford,
Hey, dog, why don't you come on ride with me? Who are you? Do you know me?
and then Steven Spielberg called.
How do you know me?
Stephen had called me and said, I want to meet you about Jaws. Don't read the book. To this day, I've never read the book. That's how good an actor I am with directors.
He didn't want you to have any preconceived notions about how the character should be.
Yeah, and he told me the story, and it was exciting. He said, you want to do it? And I said, no. And he said, why? And I said, because I'd rather watch this movie than shoot it, because I'm an idiot. There's really no other explanation. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to certain things.
He's not gonna help me. In a million years, the man is not gonna help me.
After turning Spielberg down, Dreyfuss landed what he thought was the best part ever written for an actor his age, The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz.
Dingleman is fighting me for this land.
So best part ever for an actor your age, what happened when you saw it?
You've done your homework, haven't you? I thought that I had given the worst performance in the history of celluloid.
No winners! Woo! Okay, having fun, huh? All right, here we go.
And after watching himself on screen as Duddy, Spielberg's shark movie was suddenly far more appealing.
Hello.
Hello, Beck.
You thought the performance in Duddy Kravitz was so bad, you reversed your decision of saying no to Jaws and said yes to Jaws.
Yes. I had turned it down twice. I saw Duddy Kravitz. I called Stephen and begged for the part.
You were terrified that Duddy would end your career.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he got on Spielberg's boat. And while they were still filming Jaws, Dreyfuss started lobbying for the lead in Spielberg's next big film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I decided that I would badmouth every actor ever born that could possibly play that role. And I did.
Those actors were?
De Niro, Pacino, you name it.
What would you say about De Niro? I mean, I get it.
I said, De Niro has no sense of humor. Pacino's crazy. And I would just walk by his desk and go,
Yeah.
you know.
Gene Hackman's impossible to work with.
Yeah. One day, I said, Stephen, you need a child. And he looked up and said, you got the part.
Monsieur Nery, I envy you.
Close Encounters was a game changer in Hollywood. But for Richard Dreyfuss, the other film he made in 1977 would be even bigger.
May I come in?
Door's open.
Are you decent?
I am decent.
Do you realize it is 3 o'clock in the morning and my daughter... Jesus Christ, you're naked.
A screen adaptation of a Neil Simon
you said
play.
you were decent.
I am decent. I also happen to be naked.
One morning, a friend of mine calls and says, did you hear that Bobby De Niro got fired this morning?
This is the movie he did right after Taxi Driver.
Right. And Mike Nichols was directing Bogart Slept Here.
Oh, I don't like it, and I don't think I like you.
Because I'm an actor?
coupled with your personality.
Long story short, Bogart slept here became the goodbye girl.
Elliot.
Oh, yes, call me Elliot. I've already bitten your neck.
Elliot, I am praying to God this is all gone in the
The
morning.
hell you are. Meet me in the kitchen tomorrow night. Dress casual.
The chemistry between Dreyfuss and Marcia Mason dazzled Neil Simon, won over the audience, and impressed Oscar voters.
If you're ever up for an Academy Award, I promise you I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
What is it about you that makes a man with 147 IQ feel like a dribbling idiot?
I don't know.
My agent called and said, "You've been nominated for The Goodbye Girl." I went, "Wow." And then I said, "Who else is nominated?" Woody Allen, John Travolta, Marcello Mastroianni, and Richard Burton. And I went, "I'm going to win." And my agent went, "Puh, right." And I said, "I'm going to win." John Travolta was too soon.
That's right, no question.
Richard Burton had just passed the hump.
Right.
If he had been nominated the year before, they would have given it to him in a second, and we all would have stood up and given him a standing ovation. No one was ever going to give Marcello Mastroianni the Best Actor, and no one was going to give Woody Allen Best Actor because it was the year of Annie Hall.
They was going to win
He was
Best
gonna
Picture,
win everything else.
Screenplay, director.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to win.
And new heavyweight champ, Richard Dreyfuss!
What actually impresses me most about you is you have all this wild success from like 73 to 78, and you get a substance abuse problem, and you get a famous one because you're famous, and you recover from that, right? I imagine incredibly difficult process.
I could tell you all kinds of things that you don't have time for, but I decided to be a better person, and I think that that's a legitimate goal, and I like that about me.
That includes forgiveness.
Bob, your behavior is completely inappropriate.
Dreyfuss has publicly told a story about a longtime beef with Bill Murray that began on the set of 1991's What About Bob? When Dreyfuss says that Murray, drunk, threw an ashtray at Dreyfuss's head, it missed.
Is it just you and me, or is it you and everybody?
Now Dreyfuss has stopped telling that story, and he says he's ready to forgive.
I haven't done it with Bill, and I will. We've never crossed paths. And one day, I will write him a note and say, as far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Dreyfuss is 72 now, living in San Diego. You can still see him in upcoming movies, but you'll never see his Oscar out on display in his house.
I literally walked into your house here, into the room where we're taping this, looked at the wall, and said to the producer, "Where's the Oscar?"
Did you?
Of course, yeah. Where's the Oscar? Oh, this is great. The Academy Award for Best Actor for 1977. Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Yeah, it's heavy, and it's also cold.
And he's naked.
He is freezing. I'll put him back where he goes, right next to the orange juice and the smoked whitefish salad.
Yeah.
After a career facing down sharks, aliens, and his own demons, Richard Dreyfuss has somehow managed to stay cool.